I'm often asked by guys, how long until I look like a certain fitness model, and they send me over this photo on Instagram. Now, bearing in mind, I've never seen these guys who are asking these questions is physique before, and all I have to go by is a 110 times by 110 pixel photo on Instagram. It's like, give me a chance. Look, I haven't got the power to tell you exactly how long a transformation will take. If I did have that power, I'd be a billionaire. But what I am hoping is that you'll have a better understanding regarding the psychology and the physiology that goes on behind the scenes when it comes to transforming your physique. I understand that some people seeing some of my client transformations, they're not typical, especially if you try and do that on your own without having someone like me in your corner. Now, that's not me bigging myself up. It's just that accountability and actual coaching. That means not just giving someone a plan will always trump the perfect macro split. And that's what coaching is about, accountability and support. Now, I get so many guys coming to me thinking they should be massing when they should actually be cutting, and vice versa. In fact, I recently released a case study guide revealing how some of my clients managed to transform their physique in as little as 90 days, explaining what approaches we used and what approaches best suited them. And you can actually download the guide by either clicking here if I can get it to work, or down there after watching this video. So like I said, this video has been created to give you a clearer insight as to what goes on inside my thought process when working with a client. But first, let's rewind back time. Let's have a look at these two photos. So what you see here is the moment when I saw that photo and thought, holy shit, is that what I actually look like now? But holy shit, look at the size of my penis. Then 9 months down the line, this happened. Lean, sexy beast. Now, I could end this video here with saying, thank you very much for watching. Just eat less and hit 10,000 steps a day. Now, unfortunately, losing fat goes a little bit deeper than eat less and move more. Because if we rewind 11 years and we have this spotty-faced 16-year-old who'd been lifting weights for 3 months at his local leisure centre. Jesus Christ. Look at the state of me. I think I'm Arnie. But that's 11 years of groundwork, and we don't ever really see that on social media. That's 11 years of trial, error, failing, injuries, frustration, confusion, and doing really stupid shit before finding a method that was sustainable and that one that myself and my clients could adhere to long term. So the first thing that I'll always ask a client before starting with them is look at their current situation, look at their body fat levels, look at their muscle density and muscle maturity, and then I make an informed, educated decision. Do we cut, recomp, or add muscle mass? Sometimes it's not just about putting someone on a 90-day plan, getting them to shred fat, because sometimes it takes a few cycles of cutting, bulking, eating at maintenance, back to cutting before someone looks awesome. Then a lot of the time, adding muscle mass makes it easier for someone to look leaner because we have more lumps and bumps, and with that what I mean is muscle kind of, more kind of prominent muscles, and then when you lose fat around a specific area, then you're going to look better. And a lot of the time guys will come to me for kind of being skinny fat. They've got a little bit of, I don't know what you call it, a little pouch on their stomach, and they think that if they just diet and lose body fat, that they're going to get to where they want to be. But with that, when they're not holding on to much muscle mass, it very rarely happens because they haven't got that muscle underneath. They have got that muscle, but it's just not prominent enough for them to see any real differences. Look, I'll always be honest with a client from the start. If they don't like my advice, then they can go and download another $59.99 copy and paste plan from a Fitfluencer. When a client comes to me and we get on the phone, don't know what that is, I tell them I've got a 3-month commitment phase. Because if you are thinking about signing up, I want you in, balls deep. Because that's all I need from you is commitment. So when we get on the phone, guys, get excited and it's like, right, this is it now, Dan. 12 weeks of perfection. 12 weeks of no eating out. 12 weeks of pure dieting. And I'm sat there thinking, hang on, you just told me that next week's your sister's birthday. Have a bit of cake. This isn't the Sylvester Stallone film. Well, I'll be forcing raw eggs down your throat? Think about it. 12 weeks or 90 days is a very, very long time to be going with no alcohol, no takeaways, no wine, and no chocolate. And do we need to be that strict? No, not necessarily. Do I diet a client all of the time? No, of course I don't. Do I recommend that you diet all of the time? No, because that's not sustainable and it's not healthy. The fact of the matter is that some clients will get amazing results after 90 days. Take Connagh, for example. All we did with Connagh was diet with the aim to lose fat over 90 days. And that was the main focus. We poured all of our energy into that. And look at him before that. He built the foundations. He put in the groundwork, meaning it was easy for him to lose body fat. Now, if you're someone like my client Andy, who when we started, he needed to spend time at maintenance, in a deficit, and sometimes in a surplus. And it took him a few cycles of that to get to here. And that's because of the lumps and bumps comments I just made. So yeah, if you missed that, go back and listen to it again. You know, others, maybe you're watching this, maybe you'll need to even double that time, triple it, or quadruple the time from 90 days. Maybe it'll take you more like 180, maybe 270, maybe 360, 450, who knows? And what that comes down to is how much muscle mass that you've got. What have you been doing before this? Have you been going full on GIMP mode with your training and diet? What's your relationship with food like? Are you blinging having a cheat meal every weekend that's undoing all of your hard work? What diets have you tried previously? What is your current stance and understanding on nutrition and training? And you know, we're only scratching the surface here with nutrition, so let's go into training. What's your gym experience like? How is your exercise form like? Do you know how to brace properly? What's your movement and mobility like? Can you maintain a neutral spine when deadlifting, or do you deadlift like a shitting dog? And if you can't do these things, if all of this is new to you, then it can take you or a potential client a few weeks to get up to speed to learn everything that I just mentioned above before I can really push them hard. Because failure in kind of getting them to do things properly doesn't look good my end. By doing that, I'm potentially putting a client at risk and doing them a disservice. So it's about getting them up to speed, and then you can really push a client. And sometimes when a client comes with me, they've got the experience, they built the foundations, they put in the groundwork, someone like Connagh, and all he needed was some fine tuning, and he started seeing results almost immediately. The next one is habits. This whole notion that you can learn a habit in 30 days is complete and utter bullshit. When you have, say, I don't know, an emotional attachment to food, so when you're stressed or when you're anxious, you turn to food, or maybe the way that you perceive yourself as a person, maybe you're really negative, that's an ongoing process that's been going on for years. It's not going to change in 30 days. You're mad to think that. This shit takes time, and to change the way that you're hardwired is going to take you a lot longer than 30 days. If you've been kind of turning to food when you get down and sad and anxious for the last 5 years, it's not going to take you 30 days to change that. It's going to take a lot more time of working with someone like me for your mindset to change and your approach towards training and nutrition to change. And the next stage is understanding that everyone is different. Now, just a disclaimer, no one is exempt from certain principles or rules unless a medical condition suggests otherwise, pardon me. And training females is a completely different kettle of fish because of the menstrual cycle. But a calorie deficit is going to work for everyone, whether you like to hear that or not. I'm going to say it anyway. Progressive overload, mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and a calorie surplus will work for even an ectomorph over time if muscle or gaining muscle tissue is the goal. The thing with fitness is that you can package things up 101 ways, but it's about finding what works for the client. Think about it, you've got things like Slimming World, which is essentially you have, is it a shake or something? Instead of having food, that is their way of making you to eat less. The same goes with the low carb diet. You're essentially cutting out all carbohydrates. That is your way, or their way, to have you to eat fewer calories. Every diet in some shape or form has you control the energy that you put into your mouth. I hope this video gives you a better understanding as to how attaining a physique that you can be proud of goes a lot deeper than calorie deficit, 10,000 steps a day. Because it does. If you want to know more on my coaching, my methods, and how my clients drop 10 kilograms of pure fat, baby, in just 90 days, sometimes, You can find out more in my education course, where I help beginners from all over the world gain an understanding on nutrition without the extremism, fads, and nonsense. Even if you're not a rookie, this course will teach you new techniques, help you brush up on old ones, and I've built it on the promise that it will be the only educational resource that you'll ever need. I also have a completely free 3,000 word document on my client case studies and how you can apply what they did, building the body of your dreams in a realistic time frame, and links to both of those can be found below or above. I don't know where it's going to go, to be honest with you. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Facebook and give this video a like and a thumbs up if you found it useful. Thank you very much for watching. See you whenever I do another video, I suppose.